Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates and notifications from the Indian Express.
Mr. Sharma, if we can just start off with, if you can let us know what's happening with the publicity campaign of the Congress ahead of elections.
You see, it's evolving. It's something which is not decided and frozen, because there are issues which come in. And as we have seen the narrative changing, the new media is also going to play an important role. It's perhaps maybe early to gauge. So we are putting together a campaign which will seamlessly integrate across platforms. So how do you reach the targeted audience? That is something which we are grappling with. Slowly you will see the campaign building up.
What are the challenges that Congress faces? Because you have the ruling party which is quite aggressive on WhatsApp. How is Congress looking at it, and in terms of your own strategy of having smaller networks or micro networks or groups, how are you looking at that?
There has been significant improvement with the Congress social media department, but also all the state units, all the frontal organizations, whether the Students' Wing, the Mahila Congress, the Youth Congress, they all have now social media teams. And there's a big network that has been created. My own committee has actually created a separate portal, a dedicated portal, on which the entire data of the users who are party activists or sympathizers across the country has been collated and put together. I agree with you that the BJP has been ahead, and they used it very effectively, the WhatsApp, or for that matter the other digital media platforms, because they have a formidable machine which is well funded. There is no match when it comes to the resources available between the two parties. Even in 2014, the BJP had beaten the Congress party when it came to money, power and the resources. So we are depending more on our cadres, our activists, our sympathizers, supporters, and there are a lot of people who actually are lending a helping hand. Whereas in case of BJP, they have dedicated infrastructure, buildings across the country which are rented or owned only for this purpose. So they do it 24/7, 365 days. We don't know the exact number, and the media can help us to find out. But there are states like Gujarat where BJP has about 18,000 people employed doing only this work. We have also this time brought in a digital media company, Silver Push. It's formed by young IITians of Delhi, and they have invented technologies, patented technologies, and I find them very helpful. At the same time, if I may say, any political party for that matter has to be mindful of the type of campaigns that are undertaken. Using the social media, it is a double-edged weapon. If you convey the correct information or message or articulate your ideology, your viewpoints, that's better. But if the social media is, say, abused for trolling, for spreading fake news, rumors, then that is where there is a big danger.
So what kind of expenditure do you see ahead of Lok Sabha election?
You see, I don't deal with the party funds. In any case, I don't think the Congress party is that fortunate or smiling, but is receiving those kind of support or money. I'll give you just one example. These electoral bonds, 295 crores total were the electoral bonds that were purchased from various SBI branches, of which 290 crores went to the BJP. And of the remainder, I think 4 crores came to the Congress and 1 crore got distributed here and there. So this is the gap. And that is the real gap also. If you look at the resources available, I'll say it will be 90 to 10. There cannot be any comparison. Secondly, they have emerged as the largest advertiser of this country as a party. The government's spending power on advertisement and propaganda. Recently, between 15th of January and until the dates were announced and the model code came into force, The government has officially spent 4,000 crores, but the BJP has, as a political party, beaten Unilever, Amazon, Netflix, Tata's and Reliance Industries put together. And it has come in media, it is in public domain that the previous 3 years, not talking of the current year, financial year, they spent 4,297 crores only on advertisements. So it is unprecedented. So the larger question would be, should this kind of money be available to any political party, and particularly a party in power?
You know, the BJP has sort of come out with its slogan for the election, Modi Mumkin Hai. Now, is the Congress slogan, which is not yet out, going to be focused on the party leader, or is it going to be focused on the party?
Both are equally important, but I think our slogan would be also focused on people and people's issues. In the last 1 month, that there is a very well orchestrated and planned diversion, deflecting any discussion or questions from the real issues that confront India. So the Prime Minister Modi does not want to discuss what he said in 2014. So the BJP campaign will not talk about jobs. BJP will not talk about the farmers getting the remunerative price for their produce. BJP will today not talk about women's security. They will not talk about social stability, harmony in the country. Because on all these issues, they are bound to be rejected.
You are in charge of the publicity. How do you prevent people from the Congress speaking in different voices? Like today has come in the papers about Sheila Dikshit having made a remark which has been interpreted to mean that Modi has been more forceful in reacting to the Pakistanis than Manmohan Singh.
That's her view.
No, but how do you control? I mean,
it's not a question of controlling. BJP can. If the RSS diktat comes, then they will shut up. Congress party allows people to express their views. Sheila ji will have one perception. She was the Chief Minister of Delhi, as to how we were addressing this issue. I was in the central government, in the union cabinet, so I have a different view, because I'll say that some of the critical decisions that were taken even post Mumbai attack, so I'm perhaps very much privy to them and how effective our diplomacy was at that time and how we succeeded vis-a-vis Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Saeed. Effectiveness comes from whether the country has become more secure. I would differ there, because India is far more vulnerable today than what India was in 2014. Kashmir is violently unstable compared to where we left in 2014. Have we been able to achieve the right result which we want in our fight against terrorism? If we had, then why our enemies across the border are today bolder than what they were in counterattacking and in openly supporting a terror infrastructure on their soil, that is vis-a-vis Pakistan? I personally feel that particularly on this issue, when it comes to addressing some of these challenges on India's security and the threat of terrorism, and also dealing with the challenged neighborhood, this present Prime Minister has been clueless, incoherent. He believes in transactional conduct of foreign policy, that you go to one country and say, you are my best partner. You go to Japan, that Japan is the best partner. Next day you receive the Chinese president and take him to the Sabarmati waterfront and say that you are my best partner. So people are not that savvy. Dr. Manmohan Singh came from Pakistan after the partition of India. It was his desire also to visit Pakistan. But did he as Prime Minister? Because that conducive environment was not there. But our Prime Minister did. Whether he went invited or uninvited, that's not the question. If the Indian Prime Minister lands on Pakistan's soil, for that matter, a head of state or head of government of any country, you are given a gun salute. Here there was not given a guard of honor. The Pakistan army chiefs and others refused to salute the Indian Prime Minister. That was an insult to my country. So will I call him a strong Prime Minister? My answer is no. Because conduct of diplomacy is not photo opportunity and hugs. There has to be gravitas and depth in diplomacy. Diplomacy sometimes is not loud. It has to be silent. You have to look at the results. For Prime Minister, everything is propaganda. He's a louder Prime Minister, but he is also clueless about the conduct of foreign policy.
There are a lot of parallels between now and 2004, right? Slowing economy, okay, joblessness, your rural wages stagnation, crop prices falling. So why is it that the Congress is not able to leverage on those and it is concentrating on national security?
We clearly understand that this is an issue which the Prime Minister and the BJP in a very planned manner, systematic manner, propose to use, and they want to actually scale it up to deflect attention from what you have said. We want to actually bring this discourse for these elections. Economy, despite the claims of the government and tampering with the national data, is a gasping economy, it's a struggling economy. If if there are four engines which fire the growth of an economy, whether it's the national investment rate, that's one important one. Credit offtake is the second important one. Gross fixed capital formation, that's the new factories or the tangible capacities being created, is the third one. And exports is the fourth one. So all the four engines are shut. So how is it flying, economy? We faced 2008 and 9, financial and economic crisis. In the last few years, there has been no contraction in global trade. There have been no shocks to the global economy. In fact, the government has been fortunate. They have made windfall gains at the cost of the consumers, all of you, and me included, with the very low commodity prices and oil prices in the world. So this government had everything going for it. But it is all talk, it's all propaganda. Make in India, where is Make in India? Even the logo is not made in India. That's a plagiarized one from a watchmaker in Geneva. So it's a shame.
Rahul Gandhi is only talking about Rafale and Digvijay Singh is only talking about show proof of Balakot.
No, let me tell you.
Not talking about this at
No,
all.
Rahul Gandhi is talking of jobs. He has been talking of farmers' loans, agrarian distress. He has been speaking on women's security. Rafale, yes, because the Prime Minister is personally complicit and Prime Minister is accountable. How can the Prime Minister refuse to answer questions on that? There is a defense policy and procurement policy in place. You violate that. You have done away with the transfer of technology to the country. You have cut out HAL, and the Prime Minister has personally negotiated. How can we not believe, as of today, what the former French President Hollande has said? He has not uttered a word on this matter even in Parliament, because he knows if he speaks in Parliament, makes a false statement, he'll be hauled up one day for the breach of privileges.
Every few days we see opposition leaders in Delhi pledging to fight the BJP together. You were there yourself in one of the rallies. Yet, when it comes to alliances in the states, you're fighting SPP in UP, you're fighting Trinamool in West Bengal. So far in Delhi, it seems like you're fighting up. So how will this gathering of opposition parties that cannot agree on which seats to fight convince the people of India that you can provide a stable government?
It's not because of lack of will on our part. We are very clear where to go in for pre-poll alliances. Now there are states where we have already gone for that. From Tamil Nadu to Bihar, Kerala, in any case, we have the UDF. We have done it in Maharashtra. We have done it in Jharkhand. So there are almost 200 constituencies you will find that Congress party has already entered into its own alliances. But there are states where we have a real issue. For example, if somebody wants to do an alliance with us in Rajasthan, or for that matter in Madhya Pradesh, or again in Punjab and all, we are not at all agreeable, because we want to win as many seats for the Lok Sabha ourselves. Where there is a direct fight between us and the BJP, and we have demonstrated that we are capable of defeating them in their strongholds, as we did. These were the heartland states. We cannot cede a space, because the states where we feel that both the sides will gain by having an alliance together, whether it's RJD and Congress and the Gathbandhan that we have there, or in Tamil Nadu, or the NCP and Congress, we have done it. But UP is, you mentioned that, it's a large state. We respect whatever reasons, the decision of the BSP and the Samajwadi Party. But we cannot euthanize ourselves. There is always a hope of revival. We cannot kill the Congress that, okay, somebody has given us 2 seats, so we will be happy, and 78 you take. We are not comfortable with that. Don't forget 2009, we all fought separately. Later, we had a post-poll coalition. Opposition parties on a common platform are of one view. That post-poll coalition among all these parties is definitely on. I'm pretty optimistic that people of India have maturity and wisdom. And 2019 will be different from 2014. There is no way that, irrespective of what Modi and Amit Shah do, that they can do a repeat of 2014. It is a firm no.
So 2019 election, it's going to be a little bit different in the sense the majority of the voters are going to be in the bracket of 19 to 35 years. How are you going to provide an alternative? You have just gone back to the entitlement thing, that saying that we will provide them a fixed income. But a majority of these voters also come, the aspirational voters of the middle class, the lower middle class, who would never come under this entitlement programs. How will you address this chunk of new voters?
First issue, if you ask me, is jobs. So we will definitely come out with a plan, actionable plan to revive job creation in India for our aspirational youth. That's one. Number 2, we will take forward what has not been pursued, which were national priorities and the right priorities. I'll remind you of the industrial corridors and the freight corridors. Why is this government has not talked about them for 5 years? Prime Minister's priority has been a bullet train. His priorities are wrong. India does not need a bullet train. India needs to complete these corridors, which will actually revolutionize our job creation and economic growth. There are states where we will improve, even we hope to improve even upon 2009 performance. Don't count us out in UP. We surprised in 2009. Wait, because we have some very good candidates and we are going to pick up seats. We are going to win many more seats than what people think we are capable of. But at the same time, yes, Andhra has been a huge setback. I will not go in for, say, a post-mortem. It has been a sensitive issue. Some of us thought that it should not have happened, the bifurcation. Our calculations may have gone a bit wrong, or quite wrong, in the state assembly elections in Telangana. But for parliament, there will be a fight. I think we'll do much better in Telangana in the parliament elections compared to our assembly performance. And again, we are hoping that we will pick up a sizable number of seats in the Hindi heartland also, besides in Western India. Look, we got nil out of 26 in Gujarat. That's not going to repeat itself. We got 0 in Rajasthan. That's not going to happen. We got only 2 seats and later we increased by 1 in a by-election in Madhya Pradesh. That's not going to repeat itself. Chhattisgarh we had 1 and BJP had 10. Look at the difference now. Means the mandates, the size of mandate that we got in the assembly elections. Perhaps there are challenges. So I can't speculate on numbers. But one thing I can tell you, BJP will come down sharply. I'm confident that Congress will emerge as a party with very strong presence in Lok Sabha. I don't think there is any hesitation. We do talk of India's pluralism, India's diversity, that we are a bahudharmi, bahubhashi desh, and how it is important that religions are treated equally and with respect, what should be in a constitutional democracy. So it's not that we have moved away from that commitment. I personally feel, and very strongly so, that politics and religion is a toxic mix and dangerous for any society. So going to a temple, going to a mosque, going to a gurdwara, there is nothing wrong. We are a country of believers. At the same time, don't use religion to capture power. Don't use religion to divide the society. Don't use religion to discriminate. Same is happening with the BJP also. Why did Kirti Azad and Shatrughan Sinha leave them? They were sitting Lok Sabha members of the BJP. They left them because they were disgusted with the kind of politics Mr. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah believe in. I referred specifically to the poaching of MLAs in Gujarat. If he is so strong and so confident, why is he stealing MLAs in Gujarat? Here it is poaching. But if you say daylight dacoities, or when it comes to the picking up the MLAs, look at what happened in Manipur, what happened in Goa, what happened in Arunachal. They tried in Madhya Pradesh. They have been still trying in Karnataka. It's part of their political philosophy, part of the BJP's DNA to steal MLAs, to steal governments. She's a very valuable addition to the Congress organization, and she has spoken herself about her intention that she wants to strengthen the party, and she is in charge of Eastern UP. But don't forget that she is also a very forceful orator, campaigner. So we cannot say when she'll contest. That would be her decision again.
The one thing that BJP is selling this election is that they have got a clear leader and a decisive leader. Now the opposition is not telling, and they are asking, who is their clear leader and the decisive leader?
I think it's the wisdom is in leaving this choice to all the coalition partners together. We are very clear that as far as Congress party is concerned, it is Rahul Gandhi who is the Congress president. He will be leading the campaign. And all the leaders will sit together after the elections and they'll decide it. You know, it's very easy to use the word decisive and strong. I talked about the strong leader earlier because you don't expect that, you know, your prime minister should be like WWF wrestler, a strong man. You should be strong in mind, strong in your convictions, strong in your commitment, honorable in delivering on your promises. That I'll call a strong leader. Mr. Modi fails on all these parameters, so he's not a strong leader. So will you call it decisiveness or recklessness, what he did on demonetization? The hasty imposition of the GST, terming it the second independence. It was only imposing a tax and he called it a second independence for this country. Decisive, you don't have to be loud, shrill. What is my concern is that the political atmosphere is getting vitiated. In democracy, which had matured, should have a narrative where questions are asked, criticism is made, but at the same time, the decency and dignity of the discourse is kept. There, the present Prime Minister is primarily responsible, and his party president. But the Prime Minister has to lead by example. Here he is leading in the wrong manner by using language and expressions which have totally lowered the dignity of the discourse and dignity of his own office.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.